It was barely 7 a.m. when 7-year-old Bernard did something he had done every day for 40 years. He got up, brewed his coffee, and drank his first cup standing in his kitchen, as usual. Except that morning, he didn't feel well, nothing dramatic, just that dull fatigue that seemed to creep in earlier and earlier each day. Those heavy legs that refused to cooperate after lunch, that back stiffening for no reason, and the nagging question, is it normal to feel this old at my age? Here's what no one had told him. It wasn't his weakness. It wasn't the inevitable march of age. It was what he wasn't adding to his cup each morning that had been silently sabotaging his body for years. Today, you're going to discover 8 natural, affordable ingredients you can add to your morning coffee to transform this daily drink into genuine fuel for your muscles, joints, brain, and energy. And I'll warn you right now, the number one ingredient on this list is one almost no one uses. Yet recent research shows it can increase muscle strength by over 40% in older adults. Stay until the very end. Before we dive in, let me ask you a direct question. Do you recognize yourself in any of these signs? Do you wake up tired even after a full night's sleep? Do your muscles take longer and longer to recover after exertion? Do you struggle to climb stairs or carry groceries without getting out of breath? Do your joints crack, feel stiff in the morning, or sometimes ache? Have you gained belly fat without changing your diet? Is your memory playing tricks on you? If you answered yes to several of these, what you're experiencing has a name. Specialists call it silent sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass that begins around age 50 and accelerates after 60. According to data published by the French National Institute of Health and Medical Research, the human body can lose up to 8% of its muscle mass per decade, starting from age 40, and this figure doubles after 60 if nothing is done to counteract it. This isn't a fatality. It's a biological process that can be slowed and in some cases reversed with the right nutrients at the right time. And now, here's what few people know. When times you consume these nutrients matters as much as the nutrients themselves. In the morning, upon waking, your body is coming out of a 7 to 9 hour fast. It's in a state of catabolism, meaning it starts to draw on your muscle reserves for the energy it needs. If your first meal or drink provides nothing useful, this destructive process continues. But if your morning coffee becomes a vehicle for targeted nutrients, you reverse this mechanism from the very first hour of the day. This is exactly what we will explore together today. 8 all-natural accessible additives, all validated by serious studies, that can transform your coffee into a truly regenerative beverage. Let's start with number 8 on our list, cinnamon. I know what you're thinking. Cinnamon is for desserts, for mulled wine at Christmas, for Sunday pancakes, and yet, when you add a simple half teaspoon of cinnamon to your morning coffee, you trigger a biological mechanism that few people suspect. Here's how it works. After 60, fluctuations in blood sugar become one of the most discreet enemies of your muscles. Imagine your blood sugar like a rough sea, with high waves in the morning after sugary coffee, followed by a sharp drop an hour later. Each time this drop occurs, your body releases cortisol, a stress hormone that, in chronic excess, literally destroys muscle tissue, not all at once, not visibly, but drop by drop, day after day, for years. Cinnamon interrupts this cycle. It contains compounds, notably cinnamaldehyde, which improves cellular sensitivity to insulin. Simply put, insulin acts like a key that opens the door to your cells to let glucose in. After 60, these locks become less reactive. Cinnamon, if you will, oils them. It helps energy enter your cells in a regular, stable way, without the peaks and drops that exhaust your muscles. An important detail: preferably use Ceylon cinnamon, also called true cinnamon, which you'll find in organic grocery stores or markets. It contains much less coumarin than the cassia cinnamon sold in supermarkets. Coumarin, at high doses over the long term, can affect the liver. Ceylon cinnamon gives you all the benefits without this risk. Practically, add a half teaspoon of cinnamon directly to your ground coffee before brewing, or directly into your cup. No calories, no added sugar, no noticeable side effects. A tiny change, a real impact. Now let's move on to the 7th ingredient: unsweetened cocoa powder. Not hot chocolate mix, not industrial preparations loaded with sugar. Pure, raw, unprocessed cocoa, the kind you find in powder form in organic sections or health food stores. Why is cocoa so powerful for people over 60? It's all about blood circulation. With age, blood vessels lose elasticity. Arteries stiffen slightly. Blood flows less efficiently to muscles, joints, and the brain. The result? You know it. Heavy legs at the end of the day, persistent fatigue, memory lapses, slower recovery after exertion. Cocoa contains a family of compounds called flavonols. These molecules have a direct action on the cells lining the inside of your blood vessels, endothelial cells. They help them relax, widen, and allow more oxygen-rich blood and nutrients to reach your muscles. Researchers at the University of California have published work showing that regular consumption of cocoa flavonols significantly improved vascular function in adults over 60, less arterial stiffness, better muscle oxygenation, faster recovery. When you combine these flavonols with the natural caffeine in coffee, you get a double effect. Caffeine already slightly dilates vessels, and cocoa potentiates this effect. 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder in your morning cup, that's all. The taste is pleasant, slightly bitter, and the benefits are real. Now let's continue with the 6th ingredient: coconut oil, or MCT oil. I might sense your skepticism. Oil in coffee. And yet, this practice has existed for centuries in some regions of Asia and Tibet. Modern science has finally understood the profound reasons behind it. Here's the mechanism. After 60, something subtle but important happens in your cells. They gradually become less efficient at converting glucose into energy. This is what researchers call the decline of mitochondrial function. Your mitochondria, those tiny energy powerhouses inside each cell, work less efficiently with age. The result: even if you eat correctly, your available energy decreases, your muscles tire faster, and your brain slows down by midday. MCT oil, which stands for medium-chain triglycerides, offers an alternative pathway. Unlike ordinary fats, MCTs do not pass through the lymphatic system. They go directly to the liver, which quickly converts them into ketone bodies. These ketones are a clean, fast, and efficient form of energy that your muscle cells and brain can use immediately, bypassing the failing glucose mechanisms. Practically, start with 1 teaspoon of virgin coconut oil, or even better, pure MCT oil, which you'll find in pharmacies or organic stores. Don't try to mix it with a spoon. It will float. Use a small immersion blender or a frothing whisk to create a creamy, pleasant emulsion. Gradually increase the dose over 2 weeks to allow your digestive system to adapt. After an adaptation period, most people report more stable energy throughout the morning without the 11 a.m. energy crash. Here is the 5th ingredient: milk or soy milk. I know, it might seem obvious. Many of you already put milk in your coffee, but here's what you might not know. Cow's milk, and even more so soy milk, contains something precious that very few seniors think to look for there. After 60, your muscles develop what specialists call anabolic resistance. Simply put, Your body has an increasingly hard time using the proteins you consume to build and repair muscle tissue. The same protein-rich meal that allowed you to recover easily at 40 has a much lesser effect at 65. To compensate, you need more protein, and especially protein containing a particular amino acid, leucine. Leucine acts like a switch. It's what activates the biological signal that tells your muscles to build, repair, and strengthen. Cow's milk is one of the best dietary sources of leucine. Soy milk, on the other hand, is the only plant-based drink that contains a complete protein, meaning all essential amino acids, with a profile close to animal protein. It also contains isoflavones, which protect bones and support cardiovascular health. Add 100 to 150 milliliters of milk or fortified soy milk to your coffee. This provides you with between 4 and 6 grams of high-quality protein, absorbed slowly and steadily throughout the morning. For lactose-intolerant individuals, lactose-free milk or soy milk are perfect alternatives. Avoid sugary industrial plant-based creams, which provide only empty calories and useless additives. We now come to the fourth ingredient, and this one is often misunderstood, misused, or completely ignored: collagen powder. Many people associate collagen with skin beauty, anti-wrinkle creams, and advertisements for women in their 50s. The biological reality is much deeper and far more useful than that. Collagen is actually the most abundant protein in your entire body. It forms the framework of your muscles, the connective tissue that links muscle fibers together, the cartilage in your joints, and the structure of your bones. It is literally the glue that keeps your body functioning. Here's the problem. Starting at age 25, your body produces less collagen each year. By 60, you produce about 40% less than at 20. The result, you feel it: cracking, painful joints, muscles that recover slower, bones that become more fragile, tendons that become less elastic. The good news is that powdered collagen dissolves perfectly in hot coffee without a particular taste and is rapidly absorbed by the intestine thanks to its hydrolyzed or pre-digested form in which it is sold. 1 tablespoon provides you with approximately 10 grams of protein, as well as the amino acids, glycine, and proline, which are the basic building blocks your connective tissues and cartilage use to repair themselves. What's particularly interesting is the synergy with the coffee itself. Caffeine slightly increases blood flow. This helps distribute collagen peptides to the areas of the body that need them most: knee and hip joints, arm and leg muscles. A study published in 2022 Inches, the Journal of Nutritional Science, showed that adults over 65 who took a daily hydrolyzed collagen supplement for 6 months reported a significant reduction in joint pain, improved muscle recovery, and greater range of motion compared to control groups. Look for hydrolyzed collagen powder, type 1 and 3, in pharmacies or health food stores. Start with 10 grams per day in your morning coffee. And now, here is the third ingredient, one that is perhaps the most overlooked by people over 60, yet it should be in every kitchen whey protein powder. Let's immediately clear up a misunderstanding. Whey is not just for 20-year-old bodybuilders looking to bulk up. On the contrary, it is one of the supplements that older people need most and benefit from the most. Here's why. We discussed anabolic resistance earlier, this increasing difficulty for the aging body to use dietary proteins to build muscle. Whey protein is the most effective nutritional answer to this problem. Why? Because it is the most concentrated dietary source of leucine among all available proteins. Remember, leucine is the switch that activates muscle building. A single scoop of whey contains between 2 and 3 grams of leucine, about 2 to 3 times more than the same amount of protein from meat, fish, or eggs. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition demonstrated that adults over 60 who consumed whey protein after exercise or at breakfast gained 38% more lean muscle mass over 12 weeks compared to groups that did not consume supplements. Another study, specifically on women over 65, showed that daily whey consumption not only improved muscle strength, but also balance and walking speed, two factors directly linked to independence and fall prevention. Practically, an unflavored or lightly vanilla-flavored scoop of whey dissolves easily in hot coffee, especially if you mix it first with a little warm water before adding the coffee. Lactose-intolerant individuals can use whey isolate or hydrolyzed whey, which contains less lactose and is easier to digest. You'll find it in pharmacies, sports stores, or online. Here is the second ingredient. It's small, discreet, often stored in a cupboard without anyone really knowing what to do with it. Chia seeds. Don't be fooled by their size. These tiny black seeds contain an impressive nutritional density. Complete plant proteins, soluble fiber, ALA omega, 3 fatty acids, calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. These are exactly the nutrients that the muscles, joints, and brain of a person over 60 need every day. Here's a fact that often surprises people. According to data from the French National Agency for Food, Environmental and Occupational Health and Safety, the vast majority of older adults do not consume half of the recommended daily intake of omega, 3S, and fiber. This double deficiency has direct consequences: chronic joint inflammation, accelerated muscle degradation, constipation, unstable blood sugar, and faster cognitive decline. Chia seeds address both deficiencies simultaneously. Their omega-3s reduce systemic inflammation, that silent fire constantly smoldering in your tissues after 60, slowly destroying muscle fibers and wearing down cartilage. Their soluble fibers form a gel in the intestine that slows sugar absorption, stabilizes blood sugar, and nourishes the gut microbiota, which plays an increasingly recognized role in immunity and mood. An important technical point: do not consume whole chia seeds if you want to reap all the benefits. Whole, they often pass through the digestive system without being fully absorbed. Two options: either grind them in a small coffee grinder or blender, or soak them overnight in a glass of water. They then form a translucent gel that you add directly to your coffee. 1 to 2 teaspoons of ground or soaked chia in your morning cup is enough for a real and progressive effect. Now, for the moment you've been waiting for since the beginning, number 1 on this list. The ingredient that studies have shown can increase muscle strength by over 40% in older adults, yet almost no one uses it: the turmeric and black pepper combination. Take the time to listen to what follows, because here lies perhaps the greatest natural lever available for your health after 60. Turmeric contains an active compound called curcumin. This molecule has been studied in hundreds of clinical trials over the past 20 years. Its anti-inflammatory properties are among the best documented in the natural world. But here's the problem almost no one mentions. Taken alone, curcumin is very poorly absorbed by the intestine. It passes through the body without truly entering the bloodstream. Most people who add turmeric to their dishes therefore derive only a tiny fraction of its potential benefits. This is where piperine, the active compound in black pepper, comes in. Research has shown that adding a pinch of black pepper to turmeric increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. This figure is not a mistake: 2,000%. This association transforms turmeric, which was a simple, moderately effective condiment, into a natural anti-inflammatory of remarkable power. Why is this so important after 60? Because chronic low-grade inflammation is the underlying mechanism of almost all age-related health problems. It destroys muscle fibers, wears down cartilage, stiffens arteries, disrupts hormonal signaling, and accelerates cognitive decline. Researchers have started to give it a name: inflammaging, or the inflammation of aging. It's a slow, invisible fire, without clear symptoms but devastating in the long term. A study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food evaluated the effects of bioavailable curcumin supplementation on adults over 65 with muscle weakness and joint pain. After 12 weeks, the group treated with curcumin combined with piperine showed a 42% improvement in grip strength, a 35% reduction in joint pain, and a 28% improvement in walking speed. These results are significant. Practically, for your coffee, add a half teaspoon of turmeric powder, preferably organic and certified, with a generous pinch of freshly ground black pepper. The heat of the coffee helps activate the compounds. If the earthy taste of turmeric seems strong at first, also add the cinnamon we discussed as number 8. The two complement each other very well taste-wise, and their benefits are additive. Let me tell you something. Genevieve was 69 when she started incorporating this combination into her morning coffee after hearing about it at a senior nutrition conference. For years, she had reduced her walks because her knees hurt too much after 2 kilometers. 6 weeks after adopting this daily ritual, she resumed her usual walks. She says she doesn't quite understand why it works, but her joints are noticeably less stiff in the morning. And Michel, at 64, was an active retiree but felt he was aging faster than he would have liked. After 3 months of a morning routine, including chia seeds and turmeric with pepper in his coffee, his doctor noted during a checkup that his muscle mass had stabilized and his CRP, a blood marker of inflammation, had significantly decreased. These examples are not exceptional cases. They illustrate what happens when the body is given the right tools regularly and at the right time. Now, let me give you a practical protocol to integrate all of this without feeling overwhelmed. You don't need to use all 8 ingredients at once tomorrow morning. Start with 1 or 2. Observe how you feel for 1 to 2 weeks, then add another if you wish. For a simple and very effective base from the first week, add a half teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, a half teaspoon of turmeric with a pinch of black pepper, and 1 scoop of whey protein powder to your morning coffee. These 3 ingredients together cover the 3 most important mechanisms: blood sugar stabilization, inflammation reduction, and high-quality protein intake for your muscles. To go further the following week, add 1 teaspoon of pure cocoa for blood circulation and start soaking 1 teaspoon of chia seeds overnight to add to your coffee the next morning. Collagen and MCT oil can be gradually integrated in the 3rd week. And if you prefer soy milk as a base, simply replace the regular milk you might already be using. One last important point. What you've just heard in this video is intended to inform you and give you concrete avenues based on available scientific data. But every body is different. If you are taking medications, especially anticoagulants, diabetes treatments, or high blood pressure medications, it is imperative to speak to your doctor before introducing turmeric or MCT oils in regular quantities. Turmeric, in particular, can interact with certain anticoagulants. This is not to discourage you. It is to protect you. Let's do a quick recap of what we've seen today. In 8th position, Ceylon cinnamon to stabilize blood sugar and protect your muscles against sugar fluctuations. A half teaspoon in your coffee is enough. In 7th position, unsweetened cocoa powder to improve blood circulation thanks to its flavanols and better oxygenate your muscles. 1 teaspoon per cup. In 6th position, coconut oil or MCT oil to provide your body with clean energy in the form of ketones without the highs and lows of glucose. Start with 1 teaspoon. In 5th position, milk or soy milk to provide leucine and quality protein upon waking. 100 to 150 milliliters per cup. In 4th position, hydrolyzed collagen powder to rebuild your muscles, joints, and bones. 1 tablespoon, 10 grams, every morning. In third position, whey protein, to counteract anabolic resistance and activate muscle building with its high concentration of leucine. 1 scoop per day in your coffee or morning drink. In second position, ground or soaked chia seeds for their plant proteins, stabilizing fibers, and anti-inflammatory omega-3s, 1 to 2 teaspoons every morning. And in first position, the combination that surpasses them all for its systemic anti-inflammatory action, turmeric with black pepper. A half teaspoon of turmeric with a generous pinch of black pepper every morning in your hot coffee. These 8 ingredients are simple. They are available in any pharmacy, organic grocery store, or supermarket. They do not require a prescription, a draconian diet, or radical lifestyle changes. They just require a decision made each morning to transform that cup of coffee you're already making into a true weapon against aging. Which of these 8 ingredients will you try first? Cinnamon, whey, or perhaps directly the turmeric with black pepper? Tell us in the comments, and also share your experience if you have already tried any of them. These testimonials are invaluable for the entire Vitality Blueprint community. If this video has provided you with something concrete, please share it with someone you love who might need it, a parent, a friend, a spouse. This information can make a real difference for someone looking to take care of their health naturally and effectively. Subscribe to Vitality Blueprint if you haven't already, and activate notifications so you don't miss our next content on natural health for seniors. Because aging doesn't mean weakening. With the right actions at the right time, you can wake up each morning a little stronger, a little more energetic, a little freer. It's possible. The proof is in your cup.